How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. I assume if you're watching this video, you're interested in getting your hands on Anarchy, but being a solo player makes that a little bit difficult. Well, I'm going to go over how to get all the material needed to purchase Anarchy, and by extension, Legend of Acrius, Teraba, and Always on Time. These 4 items are all old raid exotics that can now be purchased from a kiosk at the tower near the vaults. I do want to mention that you do need to own certain expansions to get some of these. If you want Anarchy, Teraba, or Always on Time, then you're going to need the Forsaken expansion because these are all Forsaken exotics. If you want to do this solo, as I'll go over in the video, you also need to own Beyond Light. Legend of Acrius only requires Beyond Light if you're doing it entirely solo. Alright, before I go any further, if you end up enjoying the video or finding it useful, remember to like and subscribe. If you want to further support my channel and plan to shop on Amazon anytime soon, hit up my affiliate links in the description down below. Moving on, I'm going to be focusing primarily on Anarchy, but the materials you need to purchase these items are all the same, so this video applies to the other exotics that I mentioned. Let's go over the materials list first. You'll need 1 exotic cipher, 150,000 glimmer, 240 spoils of conquest, and 2 ascendant shards. We're going to go over how to get all of those items except for Glimmer. We're going to start with the exotic ciphers. There are multiple ways to obtain this item. One way to get it is to reach level 55 on your season pass. This is on the free track and you don't even have to buy the season. Plus, it simply requires you to play the game to level up. Another method is to complete the exotic archivist triumph. This requires you to unlock 7 exotic entries in your collection log. This will happen naturally as you collect other exotic items. The last way to acquire an exotic cipher is through the Xenology quest that Xur offers every weekend. It requires you to get 21 points, and these points are awarded for completing strikes or winning Crucible or Gambit matches. It states you gain more progress by completing more challenging activities and completing activities with clanmates. Since I touted this as a solo only guide, I tested a few things out for you. Crucible wins, Gambit wins, and regular strikes all award 1 point. Then for the Nightfall you get 1 point for Adept, Hero, and Legend, but you get 2 points for Master completions. Alright, if you are solo, this is going to take you some time to complete. What do I recommend that you do? Well, if you want faster completions, you want to go with Gambit if you think you can win, but if not, I would say running the regular Vanguard Strike playlist is best for speed. But if you don't have Ascendant Shards and don't have many enhancement prisms or cores, I would recommend running the Hero Nightfall Ordeal. This is match made and 1220 power. You'll see a bit later that these materials will be key for you to acquire your solo Anarchy. Alright, so now you have an exotic cipher. Whether you already had one or got one with the help of my guide, I'm now going to help you get your hands on the Spoils of Conquest. This is a new currency added with the release of Beyond Light specifically to purchase an old raid exotic from the kiosk in the tower. If you're unfamiliar with these, they only come from the raids themselves. You can acquire them by completing the Last Wish or Garden of Salvation. However, the most efficient way to get them is via the new Deepstone Crypt raid. Now, you may be wondering how you can get this new currency solo. Well, good news, there are 2 chests within the Deepstone Crypt. Each chest drops 10 spoils of conquest. If you acquire both chests on a Warlock, Hunter, and Titan each week, you can get a total of 60 spoils of conquest each week. Hey Shifty, don't we need 240 spoils of conquest to get Anarchy? Well, that's the bad news. You're going to have to get both chests on all 3 character classes each week for 4 weeks to have enough spoils of conquest to get your coveted raid exotic. The next question is, how do we get these chests solo? I made a video on that a couple of weeks ago. I'll both link it in the description and there will be a link in the upper right hand corner of the video right now. I didn't want to include it in the video because it is 12 minutes and I didn't want to stick that right in the middle of this video. If you already know how to get them, that's great. If not, then check out that video. Now that we have the exotic cipher and the spoils of conquest, all we need are 2 ascendant shards. Where do ascendant shards come from? There are 3 available on the paid track of the season pass. There is one at rank 80, one at rank 85, and the third is at rank 94. If these are still available to you, this is likely the easiest way for you to get your hands on Ascendant Shards. Otherwise, you can earn them by completing Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls or going flawless in Trials of Osiris. However, you can also purchase them from the gunsmith. The price isn't cheap though. Since this is a solo only guide, going flawless and completing the Grandmaster Nightfalls are out of the question, both of which don't even come out until later this month. I'm not going to entirely rule out Master Nightfalls, they are possible to solo. If you're interested in guides on how to do so, let me know in the comments down below. Ascendant Shards are uncommon drops from Master Nightfalls. If none of that interests you, you're going to need to purchase them from the gunsmith. In order to purchase one of them, you need 10 enhancement prisms, 100 of a destination material which changes daily, and 50,000 glimmer. I'm not going to go over how to get destination material, just keep an eye on Spider's inventory. Likewise for glimmer, because you can find that pretty much anywhere, but there are several ways to get enhancement prisms. On the season pass, there are 3 available at 60 and 3 available at 70. You can also get these from completing Hero, Legend, or Master Empire hunts. Out of the 3, only Hero is match made and it has a rare chance to drop an enhancement prism. However, enhancement cores are a common drop, which can be used to purchase enhancement prisms at the gunsmith. He sells them for 10 enhancement cores, 25 of a destination material, which again rotates daily, and then 10,000 glimmer. There are still other ways to get enhancement prisms, including Hero, Legend, and Master Nightfall ordeals. If you remember back to the exotic cipher section of the video, I recommended running Hero Nightfalls for Xur's exotic cipher quest. I did that so that you could get a head start on this step. Anyway, you can also get enhancement prisms from ghost mods. There are 3, one for Gambit, one for the Crucible, and one for strikes. The strike one is called Greater Core Harvest Vanguard, and it makes it so defeating bosses in Vanguard playlist strikes or Nightfalls has a chance to drop an enhancement prism. The Gambit one is called Greater Core Harvest Gambit and has a chance to award enhancement prisms upon defeating an invader in Gambit. And the Crucible one is naturally called Greater Core Harvest Crucible, and it makes it so precision final blows in the Crucible have a chance of awarding an enhancement prism. As you can see, there are a ton of methods to acquire these materials, and I didn't even list them all. However, if you're struggling to get enhancement prisms and you want to buy those from the gunsmith, you can farm enhancement cores to do so. For this, make sure you're doing the daily gunsmith bounties on all your characters and make sure you're using up any finest matter weaves in your inventory. If you want to endlessly farm them, you can pretty much visit any activity I already mentioned, just on a lower difficulty. On top of everything I mentioned, you can also get enhancement cores from the new Legend and Master Law sectors, so if you want to grind for exotics while acquiring enhancement cores, that's another great option. One tip is to spread the grind out over the 4 weeks needed to get enough Spoils of Conquest. If you were to do all 12 daily gunsmith bounties each day, you would get 12 enhancement cores, which you could then use to buy an enhancement prism. Then over the course of that, when you get 10 enhancement prisms, you can buy an ascendant shard. By the end of the 4 weeks, you should easily have your 2 ascendant shards. This will also help you avoid a glimmer bottleneck. Once you finally have your exotic cipher, 240 spoils of conquest, and 2 ascendant shards, you're ready to buy your anarchy or whatever other raid exotic you're missing. Provided you've regained enough glimmer, that is. Well, that's it for the video. If you ended up enjoying it or found it useful, make sure to like and subscribe. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.